don't think too much of Sally, then?
I don't think too much of her work.
So why do you employ her?
It wasn't my idea. Her ladyship insisted that we should employ a relief.
Not a great choice, apparently.
It won't last long. She'll soon have enough and then disappear.
No, she's sticking with it. Barely.
What can you tell me about Lady Eleanor?
If you want to know something, why don't you ask her yourself?
I'd like to hear your opinion. Why do you think she brought Lewis here with her, after her husband's death?
And what do you mean by that, sir? Really now? I ask you, sir. Lady Eleanor is a lady, and she treats her servants accordingly. Lewis would have been unable to get a new position. He's simply too old. We can offer him a form of retirement here.
But neither Lewis nor Lady Eleanor give the impression of being happy with the arrangement. You could maybe even believe that she owes him something.
I would be aware of that, and I can tell you that your surmising is incorrect.
Lady Victoria.
Yes, sir?
She seems to me to be rather bitter.
She is a dignified old lady who has to bear a greater burden than I would wish for her.
The death of her husband and her 2 sons, the murders, the castle's decline, the end of the family line.
You said it, sir.
Somehow Bates just doesn't seem that threatening and part of the Order anymore, honestly. But, yeah, I don't know. I really think this is one of those games where, you know, there's just going to be a twist that I really won't see coming. Like, I still wonder, you know, why they keep on mentioning Lady Eleanor and Lewis. And I'm not interested in that at all, but I'm sure in some way that'll be really important. As Darren just said, it seems like she owes him something, so yeah, I don't know. It's going to be important. I just really don't see how, but that's the fun in it.
I've noticed a huge locked door on the ground floor.
I'd keep away from that, sir.
Why?
There was fire in the rooms through there some years ago. The damage was never properly repaired. The walls have been ruined by rainwater, and the beams have been rotting for 20 years or more. I think you'd risk your life going into that wing of the house.
That must have been quite some fire to destroy the wing like that.
It was a dreadful tragedy, such as we've already suffered too many times here. It must now be 24 years ago. Master Samuel and his enchanting wife Catherine were just married and had only recently moved into the castle. We were hoping that he would one day take over the castle from his father and give us a son and heir. But then, they had not even been here for 6 months. There was a fire.
Did anyone know how the fire started?
No. Master Samuel lost his wife in the fire, and then vanished for the next 12 years. He'd been deeply wounded by the events.
What kind of a man was he, this Samuel Gordon?
His father sent him off to boarding school early, since he was a very obstinate, wild child. His behavior improved at the school. The teachers described him as an alert, intelligent, and friendly boy, and in the holidays we found him so too. He got to know Miss Catherine after being at school. good-hearted woman. They were married and seemed to have found a perfect happiness.
What do you mean, seemed?
Well, there were some arguments when they lived here.
Was he violent?
To her, I don't really know, but I fear he may have been. Miss Catherine was unhappy, and if there hadn't been some wonderful times every now and again, then she perhaps would have left him. It could have been noticeable to us at that time. The two faces of Samuel Gordon. On the one hand, the loving, caring husband, and on the other, the arrogant and brutish egomaniac. After his wife's death, this nasty side of him seemed to disappear. He never visited us. However, common acquaintances described him as a profoundly sad and broken man.
That is, until he returned and slaughtered some innocent people.
It's terrible. We all wonder ourselves. Perhaps we didn't want to believe that this evil side of his soul had returned.
Were there any other victims of the fire? Anyone injured, perhaps?
Our cook at the time was the first to discover the fire and tried to pull young Mrs. Gordon from the flames. She became trapped by the flames and would have burnt to death had she not saved herself by leaping out of a window. But she injured her back very badly and had to leave us after that. Why are you interested in things which happened here so many years ago?
The young lady at the lighthouse was also burned.
I find the connection rather stretched.
I'll catch you later, Bates.
Goodbye, sir.
Not even a diary entry after all that. Huh. Okay, so we still need to get in his room, but he's still there. So... and he's still alive, clearly. Anything new there?
So much for the nakedness in ink. So much for the...
No. Right, so let's see now. He's not leaving the room alive. I mean, dude, that's a grim statement. It's really quite grim.
Bates is sitting in his room with an oxygen mask on. The trip to the village seems to have really worn him out.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's time to try and go into that wing or something. Well, we could go in the library, I guess, but
Apparently behind the door are just a few rooms, all in danger of collapsing since the fire. And until I have the key for the door, I can't prove otherwise.
well, let's go in the library. Maybe something new's triggered.
They're drinking tea. I don't want to annoy them.
Okay, you don't want to annoy them. Right. So let's maybe we can look at the family tree again. Make sense of that scratched. Or maybe there's more to it.
That's the Gordon's family tree.
No, there isn't.
As long as the ladies are drinking tea, I should choose somewhere else to make my...
Okay, so we want to make a call, which is clearly upstairs. So why would we...
Old-fashioned telephone.
What? You go in the library, I tell you to use a phone, or well, look at it. And you go, well, I should pick somewhere else to make my phone call. Then I bring him to another phone, and he goes, who should I call? Fucking brilliant, man. And no, I don't mean that. I don't mean that in the slightest. I mean, I really don't know what to do now. really baffled. I don't know, let's try Cellular Lewis again, but other than that, I really don't know. Can't skip it.
She's so busy at the moment. I don't want to disturb.
Yeah, she's always very busy standing there, clearly. I don't think there's anything else on this screen at all to look at. Nope. So let's go to the stables. Lewis is still there. Maybe there's something in the well.
There's nothing about the well that interests me.
Well, I'm sure there will be something in there. It stands out.
I'd rather leave him to it.
Okay, so can we now leave? We go back to the village? I really don't know what to do from here, so... Well, we need to get Bates out of his room, or kill him, or... something. Let's see what he says. Dude, can you please just... You can hear my frantic clicking, it's just not helping. Oh, man. Finally. Can we leave?
There are no answers to my questions in the village. Just a bunch of order members. I'll stay here for now.
Maybe now... Actually, let's check that mailbox. I mean, it's usable, so it's, at some point you gotta do something with it.
Empty.
Still, damn. Well, I don't know, maybe now we can use the towels upstairs in the bathroom?
The hall is open.
No, just don't look at it, just use them. Let's see. I really doubt it, to be honest, but
A pile of towels.
nope.
I'll never be able to look in the mirror again without a shiver.
I'm sure you'll manage, dude. I'm sure you'll manage. You're a tough guy. So, I don't know, let's try and talk to Bates again. Maybe now...
I don't mean to disturb you. Bates is sitting in his room with an oxygen.
Do we smash in his room? Give him a heart attack? I really don't know. Show him the diary entry? Clearly not.
An old-fashioned telephone. An old-fashioned...
Well, this is not helping. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what to do now. I need to do something, and it's related to Bates in his room. But I can't enter it and talk to him. I still wonder about the washcloth. I mean, what the hell am I supposed to do with that? What the hell? Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to throw down a save here and set 14 temp, and I'll return once I've figured it out. So how about that? So yeah, be right back, guys. Righto, we are back. So let's cause some more mischief, because that's clearly what we're doing. And it is here, and it is to do with the washcloth. And remember the bathtub of not having a seal? We're going to just stuff that in there. And then I'm sure we're just going to flood it.
Mop head directly over the plug hole.
You can't just lay it. I mean, it'll just, you know, float up. That would be bad.
Water is still getting through, despite the flannel, but much less than what's flown into the bathtub.
Well, let's flood it.
That should create a distraction.
So let's see. It's hard to see. That water really is not easy to spot, to be honest.